Assalamu alaikum. Dear all students, hope you all are well by the grace of Almighty Allah. On behalf of Milestone College, you all are welcome in online class. I am Kaji Fatima Jahan, lecturer, Department of Biology, Milestone College, with all of you today's online class. Today we will discuss on 10th chapter of Science. This is the part 1 of this chapter. So, let's start the class.
The name of chapter 10 is Let Us Know the Force. Our today's learning objectives are concepts of force and inertia, practical example of force and inertia, explanation of Newton's first law of motion, mathematical explanation of Newton's second law of motion, mathematical measurement of Newton's second law of motion. Force. An object at the state of rest can be brought in the state of motion. Again, an object in motion can be changed the direction and magnitude of motion. Even its motion can be stopped by applying force. If we want to displace anything, then we push it. If we want to bring anything near to us, we pull it. This push or pull on a body by another body is the force. Whenever we push or pull, raise or bend, twist or tear, expand or compress anything, then we actually apply force. Newton's first law of motion. Scientist Sir Isaac Newton in 1667 published 3 laws making relation among force, mass, inertia and motion of object. These 3 laws are known as Newton's law of motion. From Newton's first law of motion, we get the concept of inertia and force of a body. In this context, Newton's first law of motion is an object at rest stays at rest and an object in motion stays in motion with the same speed and in the same direction unless acted upon by an external force. Inertia. If a body is at rest, it will continue to be at rest, or if it is in motion, it will continue to be in motion. From Newton's first law of motion, we know that to change the state of rest or of motion of a body, force has to be applied. The tendency of an object to remain in its own state forever or the property of maintaining its own state is called the inertia. The tendency of an object at rest to remain at rest forever or the property of maintaining its state of rest is called inertia of rest. And the tendency or property of an object in motion to continue its uniform motion in a straight line forever is called inertia of motion. Practical experience of inertia. When a stopped bus suddenly starts moving, the passengers of the bus lean backward due to inertia. When the bus was parked, body of the passenger was at rest. But when the bus suddenly started to move, the part of the passenger's body attached to the bus started moving, but the upper part tried to remain at rest for inertia. So the passengers lean backward. During driving a car, the driver is to put on seat belt for inertia. A driver without seat belt suddenly applies brake of a running car, then due to inertia of motion, he will be leaning forward and be struck by the steering wheel and windscreen. In case of traffic signal light of big towns, we know that the green light indicates clearance to go forward and the red light indicates danger to stop. we see that after green light, red light does not illuminate directly. In between, yellow light illuminates. The reason for this is if the red light illuminates right after the green light, then to stop the speedy car, the driver has to apply hard brake. As a result, there is every possibility of sustaining injury to the driver and the passenger for inertia of motion. The driver gets time and can take preparation to stop the car slowly after seeing the yellow light. Here you can see the photographic image of inertia. First one indicates the inertia of rest and second one indicates the inertia of motion. The characteristic concept of the force. From Newton's first law of motion, we know that an object does not want to change its state by itself. To change its state, something is to be applied from outside. The external cause which changes or tries to change the state of an object is called the force. So, we get the characteristic definition of force from Newton's first law of motion. According to Newton's first law of motion, the external cause which when applied on an object at rest changes or tries to change the state of rest, or when applied on an object in motion changes or tries to change its state of motion. That is called the force. Newton's second law of motion. Force is to be applied to change the state of an object, that is from rest to motion, or to change the state of motion of a moving object, that is to increase or decrease the velocity of the moving object or to change the direction of motion. This force is to be applied as there remains inertia in an object. The object that has more inertia, the more force has to be applied on that object to change its state. As the mass is the measure of inertia, so the object that has more mass, that much more force has to be applied on it to change the state. The body for which the acceleration will be more, that much more force is required for that body. However, before knowing Newton's second law of motion, we have to know about two terms. One is momentum and the other is acceleration. Momentum, product of the mass of a particle and its velocity. Momentum is a vector quantity. It has both magnitude and direction. Isaac Newton's second law of motion states that the time rate of change of momentum is equal to the force acting on the particle. The unit of momentum is the product of the units of mass and velocity. In SI units, if the mass is in kilograms and the velocity is in meters per second, then the momentum is in kilogram meters per second. Being a vector, momentum has magnitude and direction. The momentum calculator uses the formula P equal to mv, or momentum P is equal to mass m times velocity v. The momentum P of an object is defined as the product of its mass m and velocity v, that is P equal to mv. Momentum has both direction and magnitude. Its direction is the same as that of velocity v. Since the application of an unbalanced force brings a change in the velocity of the object, it is therefore clear that a force also produces a change of momentum. Mathematical formulation of second law of motion. Suppose an object of mass m is moving along a straight line with an initial velocity u. It is uniformly accelerated to velocity v in time t by the application of a constant force F throughout the time t. The initial and final momentum of the object will be P1 equal to mu and P2 equal to mv respectively. The change in momentum equal to P2 minus P1. That means mv minus mu, which we can write m into v minus u. The rate of change of momentum is m into v minus u by t, or the applied force F equal to m into v minus u by t. Acceleration. Acceleration is the change of velocity over time. That means if the velocity of an object changes from u to v over a period of time t, then acceleration A is A equal to v minus u by t. If we have understood momentum and acceleration, then it is very easy to understand Newton's second law. Newton's second law of motion is the rate of change of momentum of a body is directly proportional to the force exerted, and the change of momentum takes place along the direction of force. That means if the momentum of an object changes from mu to mv, then the change of rate is ma equal to m into v minus u by t. The applied force will be equal to F. It means F equal to m into v minus u by t. So we can say that F equal to ma. The unit of force is Newton. The amount of force applying on a mass of 1 kilogram produces an acceleration of 1 meter per second square is called 1 Newton. Now there is a mathematical problem and its solution. The mass of an object is 20 kg. Applying a force on it produces an acceleration of 2 meter per second square. What is the value of the force? Solution. We know that F equal to ma. Here, mass of the object m equal to 20 kg and acceleration a equal to 2 meter per second square. After calculation, the force F equal to 40 kg per meter per second square, which we can say 40 Newton. So the answer is 40 Newton. As we are going to finish our today's class, there is a homework for you. Your homework is solve the CQ number 1 from your textbook. Please complete your homework and submit to your subject teacher.
Dear students, I hope you observed our today's class. If you have any question, please discuss with your subject teacher and carefully submit your homework. That's the end of our today's class. Thanks to all. Stay safe. Allah Hafiz.